Late at night, November 2017, Price Street, Merrylands, Western Sydney. A man is standing outside a house. Not his house, the house of John Ibrahim's mother. He is there because that is where his job takes him. He has been doing this job, standing close, staying loyal, making sure nothing goes wrong, for years. Something goes wrong. A single gunshot. He is hit in the back. He collapses on the footpath outside the house. Paramedics take him to Westmead Hospital. He is in serious but stable condition. Police describe the attack as targeted and not random. And then, the detail that defines everything that follows, he refuses to tell police who shot him. A man who has just been left bleeding on a footpath will not say who put him there. His name is Sam Nata, known across Sydney as Tongan Sam, long-time bodyguard of one of Australia's most reported underworld figures. And the question that the public record has never fully answered is not who shot him. It is why a man who was shot in the back outside his employer's mother's home chose silence over justice. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to hit subscribe to support us. That is exactly what keeps us going and gives us the motivation to keep making the next one. Now, let's go back to where this starts. Sam Nata did not become Tongan Sam through one dramatic event. He became Tongan Sam through decades of proximity to one family, one world, one set of loyalties that the public record traces back to John Ibrahim. Ibrahim is one of the most reported figures in Sydney's underworld history. His name is attached to King's Cross, to nightclub culture, to decades of police attention and media coverage. He has brothers, Michael and Fadi, who in 2017 were arrested in Dubai as part of a major law enforcement operation. He has a mother in Merrylands, whose house became a crime scene on a November night. And through all of it, according to year after year of Australian media reporting, there is a man standing close by. Sam Nata, Tongan Sam. ABC News described him as John Ibrahim's loyal, long-standing bodyguard. Not once, repeatedly, across multiple stories, over multiple years. The nickname is not a court finding. It is not a charge. It is something that accumulated across dozens of media references until it became the way Australian crime reporting refers to one specific person. But behind the nickname, there is a man, with a wife named Sella, with adult children, with a home on Price Street, Merrylands. The same street where his boss's mother lives, the same street where he was shot. November 2017, the night Tongan Sam is shot, the night before, is not an ordinary night in the Ibrahim family calendar. The following day, a high-profile family wedding. John Ibrahim's nephew is marrying Aisha Mahaja, sister of former Auburn Deputy Mayor Salem Mahaja. The kind of event that draws people together. Family. Associates. People who do not always gather in the same place. Police will not speculate publicly on whether the planned wedding was linked to the shooting. That distinction matters enormously. The timing is documented. The family connection is documented. But a confirmed motive is not. The public record does not go further than that, and responsible reporting should not go further either. But the timing sits in the record, and it raises a question the record cannot answer. When a man is shot outside his employer's mother's house the night before a family wedding, and the police investigation that follows identifies at least 5 other people who helped the shooter arrive and leave, what does that say about the world in which that event happened? Not about guilt, not about motive, about the kind of environment in which a family celebration requires a security calculation the rest of us never have to make. In May 2018, 6 months after the shooting, ABC News reports a significant update from police. Investigators believe the gunman was not alone. At least 5 other people helped the attacker. They provided transport, they assisted with the getaway, and afterward, they helped destroy the evidence. A dark blue Subaru WRX is set on fire in Maze Hill shortly after the shooting. CCTV footage of the burning vehicle is released by police. They are asking the public for help. 6 months after the shooting, 5 or more people involved, a getaway car deliberately destroyed, and still no arrests in connection with the attack. As of the verified reporting available for this investigation, no charges have been laid over the shooting of Sam Nata. The gunman has not been publicly identified. The 5 people who allegedly helped have not been publicly charged. The car that was set on fire gave police footage. The footage produced a public appeal. The public appeal produced no confirmed outcome in the public record. That is not a failure unique to this case. Organized crime investigations frequently face the same wall. Witnesses who will not talk, evidence that has been deliberately destroyed, a network of silence that holds even when the victim is the one who was shot. Sam Nata was shot in the back on a footpath outside a house on Price Street, Merrylands. He was taken to Westmead Hospital in serious but stable condition. And then, according to reporting on the investigation, he refused to cooperate with police. A man who was just shot will not tell the investigators who did it. There are reasons why people in his position make that choice. Fear of what comes next if they talk. Loyalty to a world that has its own methods of resolving disputes. A belief, formed over decades, that cooperating with police creates more danger than it resolves. None of those reasons are the same as guilt. A victim can refuse to cooperate with police for entirely understandable reasons. The law does not require a victim to assist an investigation. But the refusal, in this specific case, in this specific context, is itself a piece of information. It tells you something about the environment, about what Sam Nata believed would happen if he gave a name, about what he trusted and what he did not trust to keep him safe. The question it raises is not about his loyalty to John Ibrahim. It is about what loyalty in that world actually means when you are lying in a hospital bed with a gunshot wound to your back and the police are asking who did this to you. And you say nothing. In July 2019, Strike Force Raptor detectives and riot squad officers arrest Sam Nata at his home on Price Street. The same street, 61 years old. The riot squad. He is taken to Granville Police Station, charged with possessing an unauthorized pistol. Police allege DNA evidence links him to a loaded 9mm pistol seized from a Nissan Patrol in South Wentworthville. The Brisbane Times reports the police case was described in court as not without its hurdles. Later reporting from the Daily Telegraph indicates the firearm charge is dropped. His legal team welcomes the decision. A man arrested with riot squad support. DNA evidence alleged. Charge dropped. That sequence, from arrest to dropped charge, is not unusual in organized crime investigations. It is the gap between intelligence and evidence made visible. Police may believe they know something. They may have information that points in a direction, but the standard required to sustain a charge in court is higher than the standard required to make an arrest. When the gap between those two standards produces a dropped charge, the public record reflects both. The arrest happened. The charge was dropped. Both of those facts are part of the same story. Sam Nata, known as Tongan Sam, repeatedly described in Australian media as the longtime bodyguard of John Ibrahim. November 2017. Shot in the back outside the home of John Ibrahim's mother in Merrylands. Police described the attack as targeted and not random. Taken to Westmead Hospital. Serious but stable. Refuses to cooperate with investigation. May 2018. Police reveal at least 5 people assisted the shooter. Getaway vehicle set on fire. Public appeal for information. No confirmed arrests in the shooting as of the available reporting. April 2019. Charged over alleged drink driving incident in Merrylands. Described in reporting as John Ibrahim's longtime bodyguard, even in this unrelated coverage. July 2019. Arrested at home on Price Street by Strike Force Raptor and Riot Squad. Charged with possessing an unauthorized pistol. Police allege DNA evidence. Court told police, case not without its hurdles. Later reporting indicates charge dropped. Legal team welcomes decision. That is the confirmed public record. Nothing more, nothing less. Here is what the story of Tongan Sam Nata actually shows, and the questions it raises that go well beyond one man in Western Sydney. A person can spend decades in close proximity to one of Australia's most reported underworld figures. They can become known by a nickname that the entire Australian media uses consistently. They can be shot in a targeted attack and refuse to say who shot them. They can face a serious firearms charge that is later dropped. And at the end of all of that, the confirmed public record is more limited than the reputation attached to the name. That gap between reputation and verified fact is the first lesson. In organised crime reporting, the two can look identical from the outside. A nickname, repeated in enough articles over enough years, can feel like a finding. It is not. The second question is harder. Tongan Sam was shot outside John Ibrahim's mother's house the night before a family wedding by a gunman assisted by at least 5 other people, who refused to identify to police and whose charge over a separate firearms matter was later dropped. Each of those facts is individually explainable. Together, they form a picture of a person living inside a world where silence is survival, loyalty is currency, and the legal system processes each piece of the picture separately, without ever being required to look at all of it at once. The third question, the one that sits underneath the nickname and the shooting and the dropped charge, is about the choice, not about guilt, about choice. A man is shot in the back on a footpath. He knows, or believes he knows, who was responsible. He says nothing. That choice has a cost, not a legal cost, a human cost. Whatever reasons sit behind it, fear, loyalty, calculation, they are reasons that belong to a world most people will never inhabit. And the question that world produces is not one that any court or any investigation has been asked to answer. What does it actually take to walk away from a world like that, when the world knows where you live, has already found you once, and knows you will not talk? For our community, in Aotearoa and across the Tasman, the lesson is not about Tongan Sam specifically. It is about what reputation does in organised crime reporting. A nickname repeated often enough becomes fact in the public mind. An arrest reported without its resolution becomes a conviction in public memory. And a person becomes known, not through what a court has found, but through who they stood next to, and for how long. What do you reckon? When a man is shot and refuses to say who did it, what does that tell us about the world he was living in?